First up, we got the Poppies and Team Rival. Gore, I've been throwing you the Poppies all this summer split. All right, so first off, what's the matchup we got to watch this week for this game?
This one again is gonna. I actually kind of want to. I'm interested to look into the jungle here. I want to see kind of what
Really?
Halo and iCreate are gonna be doing, just because like I think that's gonna be their strongest shot, if that makes any sense. Like Warchi is obviously gonna be Warchi, and him versus Vote is going to be insane to watch. But when you look at it, I just think Vote and Collis come out of that on top, no matter which way you cut it. On the other side, though, maybe try to shake things up in the jungle. It'd be interesting. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. And the actual world we live in, but up here in like Fantasyland, the Poppies have a decent chance.
Really, you think the Poppies have a decent chance against Rival?
For 10
minutes,
dude.
I'm
for
not
10
gonna lie.
minutes in both games, they have a decent chance.
The
Once
Poppies,
it hits 10 minutes, it completely falls apart.
The Poppies is this split's Sanguine for Gore for me. I was like, Sanguine can do it.
They're not gonna win, but in my brain, I want them to win. Right? I want them to win. I want them to do well, but it's just like they're not going to. Like, not against Ryan.
So it's not the same at all.
Poppies.
It's not the same at all. It's only exactly the same freight.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be Rival 2-0, but I mean, I know Gore wants to believe that there's a chance.
Well, the Poppies have been looking good for like 5 to 10 minutes, or like 8 to 10 minutes, right? Like they kind of keep some control of the game, and then they just fall apart. Like I don't even know what it is. Every time I watch them play, they just like they hit 10 minutes, and it's like they completely forget what Smite is.
So
and
it's the old Rival
fall apart. They can't lane anymore, and it's just like they're a decent squad. They have, early game chances, but they just can't hold a lead.
Yeah, I think we've seen them in their games. Last split, the game to watch for me that made me believe in Elevate was their game against NRG, where they had the potential to run away with that game. They got the early kills, the first blood, and they got a couple quick kills, and then they just couldn't hold on to that, and NRG eventually did what they do, and they capitalized on every mistake. But I feel like that's what the Poppies have been doing religiously so far, is they've been, they've had their moments like, oh shit, the Poppies are here, they're doing work, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's
and the
Poppies.
game's over.
Like, so, all right, so Rival 2-0, right? Realistically,
like easily.
Okay,
Rival 2-0. Like
Rival 2-0.
It's gonna hit like 20 minutes for both games.
All right, but if we have old Rival show up, the one who like doesn't know what to do with themselves, is it a split?
If old Rival shows up, then it's worst case scenario a split.
Okay. All right. So next up is Burrito Esports and Elevate. Freight, what's the matchup to watch here? I mean, you look at Elevate, you've got the Bruise Brothers and Jermaine and Dardez. Can Burrito keep up with that?
I'm looking for the matchup. I'm scanning. Yeah. No, the matchup is matchup's your mid lane. It's gonna see whether Death Panther, who aka old support was, who played support, is able to realistically transition or complete the transition into the mid lane role. So now it's week 3. Burrito is currently 0-6. They haven't won a game. They played multiple times so far. So they're on the back foot, man. This is gonna be, I love Burrito's jungler. I love Johnny. I called him Zoni a lot. I didn't really know it was Johnny. My bad. Apologies, Johnny, that I called you by your wrong name for probably like 2 years. But another story for another time, Johnny. But yeah, I love the jungler, man. I think he's a great jungler. He's fast. He goes for kills, and he can definitely be that hyper carry from the role. But still, really, the matchup is Melissa on the control mages. Can she sit there and repeat the performance on the Noxes? Will she be able to bring out like an Isis to the table? And obviously she has that Giannis in the back pocket if they ever decide to bring it, which I guess the meta just hasn't really fit Giannis yet because of the levels 1 through 3 type of deal. He doesn't necessarily have the best, but I feel if that's always like a pocket pick for Elevate to sit there and swap out. But like I said, Elevate strong. I think this ends up being 2-0 Elevate. I think it might be close games, but I got to give it to Elevate the 2-0. I just think they're able to take care of it, and Alyssa shows up, and so does Jermaine.
In the future, though, Burrito versus Poppies is where it's going to be at.
Dude, that's the matchup that you're obviously waiting for because
that's when they
pretty
both
much
have a
seen
chance.
that. I pretty much have seen that matchup and casted it many times actually, and I've seen that in Challengers Cup. So yeah.
All right, so
I know that match
I'm
pretty
looking
well.
at this. Let's go in here and get the the changes.
That's your
up.
Twitter.
That is. Just wait. So we've
Who is
got
that? Walrus. What is that picture of Walrus? What?
All right, so we've got where is he at? So yeah, Elevate is not Nika. It's Cherio, right? Like that's
When did
still a
that
thing.
happen?
That Nika made like the side thing about how he didn't want to play anymore, or it was burned out or something.
Right. Now I'm remembering that. Hey guys,
Yeah.
guess who didn't change a roster?
So we've got Cherio on Elevate. Does that change anything for you, Freight?
No, Cherio's high speed. I feel bad for Nika. I actually do like Nika. I talked to him at LAN. Good dude, personally. Kind of sucks that he just can't seem to find a home. Again, I don't think he's a star. He's not like your Kobe's or LeBron's or anything like that. But he's a solid role player. He's a good man to have in your mix. I think he knows the game well. I wish he finds a spot, but Cherio's a damn good jungler. I mean, there's really nothing, as far as that aspect.
All right, so that's 2-0 for Elevate. All right, so next up,
still there. Yeah.
we've got Noble and ALG, Gore. These are two teams we went into this split not expecting too much from. ALG has really stepped up their game. What's been the key to ALG success so far?
Honestly, I think it's been Weekend not playing like Weekend. And if that can make sense to you, if you watch the old way Weekend would play
You mean
versus the way
Camp
he's
Solo
playing
Lane?
now, where it's like, yeah, he's adapting. He's
He
finally
went back to
changing what
that.
he's doing.
He was like, let me go camp this lane again.
It's him. Like, it's kind of like the cornerstone. The rest of them were all kind of, back and forth. And obviously having Nerima come in has kind of increased them. I guess having like a different Guardian playing with them. But Weekend has kind of shifted the way he's playing again. That's finally like kind of fitting and it's clicking with their team.
So do you think it's Weekend not playing like 6-6-7 Weekend, or is it that this meta is conducive to his God pool? His God pool is meta now, so therefore he's rising and being, a more dominant force.
I'd say probably a little column A and a little column B here, because it's like not necessarily the gods. Like a lot of the gods, the first one you think of is Serket. Serket can do well, but then I think of some of the other ones I've seen Weekend shine on, and they aren't quite as fitting, but he's making them fit with the team now, which I think is kind of helping him out. And I do think that, just kind of transitioning into it, the meta itself is kind of lending itself towards Weekend's style of play.
Okay, I'd see that. So, Wowie versus Oceans, I feel like that's pretty much an even matchup, right? Maybe leans more towards Wowie, or
Well, they took Golden Bow out because of Oceans. So I mean,
right? I mean, Oceans is probably more consistent, but I think Wowie has the bigger spikes.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those ones where I think like if you're going down at like roll by roll, I think if you're going like soloed back and forth, it's literally going to go like, okay, well, Wowie got a kill. Oceans comes back. Oceans gets a kill. Okay, now Wowie comes back. Wowie gets a kill. They have the same impact. I think they're going to go maybe toe for toe. I'd favor matchup, like God matchup. Whoever wins picks and bans for the hunter is who's going to be able to kind of outbox the other there.
All right, so duo lane, you've got Wowie Wubbin, Oceans Niruma. Niruma outclasses Wubbin.
Yeah.
At every level. How big of an impact is Niroma going to be on this game?
I think it's going to make a big difference. I don't know how much it's going to impact the duo lane specifically as much as I think it's going to impact the mid lane. And it's going to come down to the fact that even though I think the MLC at his base has a little bit more skill overall than Met Yankee as a mid lane player, with Niroma there, and honestly coming when you look at the jungle matchup with Weekend there, I think they're going to work a little bit better as a 3-man grouping on Allegiance than you'll see out of Noble pretty much every step of the way.
All right, so we're going to say this is a 2-0 for ALG then.
Yeah, unless that one, like the Noble team that showed up a long time ago that we were seeing that was taking splits with everyone, that was being able to fight back and forth.
The second half
unless
team.
They decide to show up, they are not going to be able to find them. They might find a win, but honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to the different styles of play, and I think that Allegiance is going to be able to eat Noble apart because of the way Noble plays.
All right, so That's Noble ALG. Next up, we have Flashpoint University.
Fuck
and
that game.
In memory of Gabe.
Gabe, go. Next game. Done. Gabe,
Done.
Done. Don't even go to it. Obey, elevate. Next game.
The
Nah,
team
we
that
gotta
has
talk
two
about it.
new players.
We haven't talked
and the
about
team
it.
that's been
We gotta
together.
talk
Look, I will never vote for Flashpoint. Go. Next game. Just out of principle. Go.
Yeah, I'll break this one down since Freight refuses to. We're gonna get the host analyst over here. Let's go. So you got Sops and Snoopy. Sops has been showing up. You know, he to me right now is kind of like what Vote was doing last split last year, where he was showing up. He had all these plays. I think it was last split where I like the very first or second week. You guys remember? I was like, my player to watch is Vote. His game, his positioning, it's been really on point. It's just a matter of if he can keep that up. You know, Snoopy's also, you know, he's been around a long time. He loves playing these hunters, whether it's in mid or as an ADC.
Sounds like you've been listening to me a lot.
I mean, I learned from watching you, Dad. So then you got Shadow Q Eonic. I think Shadow Q is kind of old and washed up at this point. I don't think he has the same skill that he may or may not have had at any point. Man Ray Hurrywin eats Man Ray alive. He beats him up, steals his lunch money, and kicks him to the side of the lane and doesn't care. Mirage Cynosure, I think Cynosure has been more consistent and has been playing pretty well. And then the only matchup I really see going Flashpoint's way possibly is Walrus. But in memory of Gabe is going to know that. So Walrus gets camped and he gets taken out of the game. And I don't think the rest of Flashpoint is going to be able to capitalize on IMOG doing that. So easy 2-0 for In Memory of Gabe. So now...
All right. Next game. Cool. There are games that matter. Sweet.
Now we're going to go to our day 2.
Because that's the Thursday night final, because that was supposed to be hype at 5:15. Let's remember that.
Yeah. So we've got Elevate and Obey. Let's give this one to Freight.
I'll do this one since I didn't do the last one. Yeah, it's cool.
All right.
I technically did do the last one.
All right,
Sounded like me.
All right.
Anyways,
so,
let's break this one down. Yeah, go ahead.
So you've got Jermaine Jardez again, the Bruise Bros, against Ataraxia and Millsy, the Cerebral Duo Assassins. Who wins that matchup?
You know, I gotta still go with Millsy and Ataraxia. Just realistically, yeah, Millsy's just Jardez is a good support. I like him. Jermaine's a good hunter. I like him. You won't meet. Obey has some of the smartest players in Smite. Ataraxia with his builds, he brings out this Transcendence Rama that I would get trolled off the stage if I brought it on there, and you know, he makes things happen. He has a very good mind of Smite, and I think obviously he just plays the game at a really high level. Millsy just breaks out crazy, insane stuff, and again, just mechanically super, super crazy for a support player. You know, I just give every advantage to every aspect really to Obey when it comes down to it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, just pen on paper, you know, going across the roll, looking at this game, Obey just outclasses Elevate. Could Elevate swing above their weight class? Maybe, but
does Melissa know how to play Morgan? That's the question.
Probably not.
Because if you can Pretty Prime mechanically great. NA, hey, if you're NA and you're in SPL, learn to play that god. That god is going to wreck when it comes to SWC, because there's going to be more new gods brought in. There's going to be more broken stuff. There's going to be more OP things. This god will win you games, the Morgan. And Prime understood that a while ago, and he's learned the character, understands what to do, and this man is a menace on it. Unless you can sit there and not only take that away, but plus the hyper carry junglers such as Hoonbot, Susano, or Circuit. If those three are on the table and it's selected by Twig, watch for the Morgan pickup, watch for the double Pyramid Weevils, and so on. I mean, it's just, they can play anything. I mean, like I said, Obey just has that ability because they're so good.
All right, so easy 2-0 for Obey. All right, Gore, we have Burrito versus NRG. Should be easy 2-0 for NRG, but they've struggled in the past. Do you think Johnny can go toe-to-toe with Adapting?
No. I think
good answer.
It's going to be kind of, I don't even want to say similar, like the Poppies versus anybody, just because Burrito's going to be able to have some good fights maybe early on. They might be able to kind of make you think, oh, maybe they can do it this game. Maybe this is the game that Burrito's suddenly realizes how to, beat the top 6 of EU that are for some reason so close to each other. And then it just falls apart because again, they don't really have that late game practice coming in, especially as a challenger team. And NRG, they look to be on the rise again, not necessarily at the same point that they were, being, top tier world champions coming in, and it's a hopeless matchup for everybody, but it's a hopeless matchup for Burrito here. I think they can just take a lot and learn from this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree more.
Such a rough first few weeks too.
I would love to see Johnny make plays. I'd love to see Death Panther make plays. I just don't see that against Yamming and Adapting. And then you've got Kaspanify and Fusify, the Russian dual lane. Is their style, because they're very much in the mold of Jermaine and Dardez, where they're going to fight you, they're going to try and get in your face, they're going to take any and every fight they can. Is their style going to cause any problems for Emilito and Iraffer?
Guaranteed they will kill Iraffer at least once. That's all I can say, though. That's all. I don't know if it's going to hurt Emilito that much, but I know Iraffer is going to get caught out somewhere in this game. And that's going to be like Burrito's shining light. They're going to be like, we killed Raffer. We can do something. And then everyone's going to rotate. It's all going to fall apart.
All right. So, again, easy 2-0. All right. So then we get the Poppies and Dignitas. Gore, I'm going to give this one back to you. You've got Warchi versus Arkle. And you've got, Variety versus iCreed. What do you think about the Poppies' chances in this game?
Well, I think so far, after looking at all these games, we have 6 2-0s in a row, and this one's going to continue that streak. It's going to be a 2-0 for Dignitas. Like, it's just another one where it's like, even if the Poppies can do what I've honestly just kind of determined is their like signature, keep themselves, maybe even find a lead early on, like they know how to fight, there's no chance. It's just going to come down to it. I mean, this one's more experience than anything. When you look at Dignitas, they should just be able to eat the Poppies alive. The team is strong. They've been working together really well. They've got the first split under their belts, and they're looking even stronger this split. Poppies still have a lot to learn for the SPL. I think they're going to be good sitting down there, at the bottom, honestly, 6th, 7th, 8th in that area. But contending for like a team that's going for top 4, top 3, it's not going to happen. Dignitas should take this as another easy 2-0, really.
All right. Freight, our matchup of the week. Team Rival versus Team Enix. This game is going to have big implications for who goes to Valencia. EU, the top of EU, is in a dead heat. It's neck and neck. And if either one of these teams can get a 2-0 on the other, that's huge. So, Rival versus Enix, break it down for me.
Fails is putting out. You can't put plug in your own team. Of course, you're going to say Enix. This one is going to be good. Remember when we had said earlier in the podcast today, I was like, I think Rival, because how they've stayed together, they're a team that I'm no longer looking at going, oh, they're going to get 0-2'd, to the point where they can at least split. And honestly, I think we're going to see a split. I mean, Enix is a superior team. I think they're stronger in a lot of fashions. They've got the experience in Fun Baller. They've got big man teams. I just think that Rival somehow, I know we've got all Enix people in here. We've got Tings, we've got Fails. We just don't have Fun Baller. And I think Rival somehow sneaks one game away because Ice just goes crazy on some sort of assassin. Whether
you think Ice is the one that goes crazy and Deathwalker just doesn't abuse Ducky?
No, I mean, Deathwalker is great, obviously, but I'm not talking about Deathwalker. I think Ice is definitely upcoming. I tweeted out the other day or the week when I saw him play. I think he's very, very upcoming as far as his potential in the ceiling cap. I think he has a lot of ability to sit there and move up and get better, and he's only shown that, throughout the time playing. And I think as the more he gets time, the better he'll perform. But I think they're able to squeak out a game because, Ice and Deathwalker maybe do something. I don't think they win game 1. I think they maybe win game 2 with some adjustments and kind of counter the draft that Enix uses in game 1. I think that's the way it goes personally. Lobster is just, I don't know what he's going to play in mid. The guy can play pretty much anything he wants. Tings is just solid support. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to give him the Fafter, you're going to give the Terror, or, now Ganesh is available. You have a lot of supports on the table, and Tings is going to have his options of what he wants to pick. And then you got Fun Baller, man. Does he want to throw some Chronos ADC? What does he want to throw in? Yeah.
You say that, Big Man Tings is going to have his run of support. You can't ignore Collis.
Well, Collis is known for the Fafnir. Obviously,
Is he
probably
gonna
one
get
of
to
the best,
cosplay
so.
as a dragon? Is he gonna get to
No,
have fun on his dragon?
It's either gonna be if Enix has first pick. Again, Enix is in the fucking chat, so it's really weird to sit there and discuss what I think they're gonna do because if they do it. But what I think is gonna end up happening
like, man, this
is
guy doesn't know anything.
I don't think I know they probably are. I don't think Fafnir is gonna be a ban. I think if Enix has first pick, I think they don't ban the Fafnir and they pick it up for themselves. If Enix has second pick, you'll see them ban the Fafnir to not deal with it on Rivals.
Slamming your hand into your desk.
I gotta move back and forth, man. I got hand movements. I'm just look. I told you. I was pumped today. I still got that energy because fuck Flashpoint and giving up players. But whatever. We're on this game. I think it's going to be solid. I think it's going to be a fun game. This will be one of the more entertaining games to watch for sure. This will be a great Saturday night. I'm
going to disagree with you a little bit. And I apologize to our Enix guys in chat. I think that the way that Rivals is playing, the way Alpha Jackal has transformed this team and has coached this team, I think Rival is going to outdraft Enix. I think Rival has I agree with you that this is more than likely a split, but I think this is Rival's to lose. I think Rival has the potential to put it all together. I think overall maybe Enix, has a more consistent squad. I'll give you that. But Rival, they have so many spots that can just have these games where they play out of their minds. Ice, you've got Deathwalker, you've got Vote, you've got Collis if he gets the right god. These are all guys who can just take a game, put it on their back, and just sprint the quarter mile. Like, these are guys who can do that. And I don't know that Enix has the same spike potential as Rival does. I think it comes down to Wolfie and mid. We got to see. I think he still needs to learn some things. I think good player, but has definitely room for improvement. Where I think Lobster is obviously going to have the better mid game in that aspect. I think Fails and Ice are great junglers. Again, I think Ice has been playing amazing as of late. Maybe that momentum carries him into some different situations that he's able to take advantage of and put Enix in a surprise situation. Overall, though, again, you got to say Enix realistically, quote, has the better squad. I think Rival just sneaks out one game here, and at 5-3, I think that they're able to do that. This is their moment. All right. So next up, we're gonna have Team ALG versus Team AI. That's Team AI is formerly Eager. They replaced Zatman with Xenotronics, and then they kicked Sam for Soccer the second. And replaced him with Chapo. So, we already just out of, spite do not like this new team. Freight, I'm going to give this one to you because it's Eager, and why not?
It's not Eager anymore. I don't even work for Eager.
Yeah. You still got it. So, ALG has been looking phenomenal. They've really found their stride. And this Team AI is not going to have the same synergy going forward. And we talked about it before. This is El Chapo's first time in the pro scene without Uzi. In recent memory, between console and between, SPL. So who knows how well he does and has cohesiveness with this squad. Is there any way that this Team AI pulls out the victory over this red-hot ALG?
No.
All right,
that's it.
Moving on.
So
next up, we have Noble versus E United.
Pretty much. I honestly do have this. I clicked on it, and I think this will be ALG 2-0, realistically. I think Eager, you can't put a team together in a week and expect a victory, in my opinion, unless – so this is a catch-22. There's a chance that Allegiance is caught sleeping because of two new players. They should know the players. They know Xeno. They know Chapo. They know what they're capable of as far as what their god pool is and so on. So they should have an expectation. So they shouldn't be caught too much by surprise. But Allegiance has probably done more homework and more videos and watched Eager with Zap and Eager with Sam. With that non-existent, maybe Eager can come in and do something unexpected. But I don't think that's the way. I think ALG still gets the 2-0. They're playing very well this season. Again, shout out to the weekend, like the score said, just really playing the old school, hey, let's get cycling ahead and let's just do the thing that we did before and get ourselves to the SWC. That's the way it's riding. I don't know if Zeno and Chapo being added literally the other day with a couple scrims under their belt can handle the Red Hot Allegiance.
All right. So next up we have Noble and E United Gore. We've talked about this Noble squad. They just haven't been able to deliver. This E United squad realistically only replaced Payne, but by kicking Payne and placing Polar Mike in that support spot, they have just looked so much better, so much stronger. Is there any way Noble fights into this game?
I think, again, if it's, old Noble, we look back towards it where they were taking splits, whatever they were doing then. If that team decides to show up this week, then there's a chance. But if it's the team that we've been seeing play in this split so far, it's just going to be maybe not the easiest 2-0 for E United. There's going to be some bumps along the road, maybe some lost Gold Furies, some lost fights. But overall, they're going to be the ones who are able to close out the game. And when it comes down to it, that's all that's going to matter for them. They're going to be able to get the wins.
All right. Because that one was so short, we're going to move right on to the next game with you, Gore. Flashpoint University and Luminosity.
This one's going to be even shorter.
By how many thousands
Next!
does Luminosity win by?
Next!
So this would be
Don't even talk about
like,
it. Next.
Let's say you took the, you go and you get the top baseball team, even number 2, let's say. If you go up there and in the major league and you bring them against a high school team, not even a high school team, you bring them against a middle school team, right? That's the kind of that's the caliber of difference really between these two. Is one team's just going to get slaughtered because they won't have the synergy, they won't have the teamwork, and Luminosity should just be able to.
I put 20 fantasy points. I put a 20 fantasy point bet that there's a 10K gold lead by 15 minutes.
Okay.
I can't even bet fantasy points, but LHS, can you give people fantasy points?
Let's not dive into what I can or cannot do.
Can you hook a man up with some fantasy points if I lose a bet?
I can take them away. I can definitely take them away.
You can take them away? All right. You can take my
4 players on LGDC for the whole game. Does FP have a chance? Unless if Scary D or Barracuda is left, they still are going to have a rough time. They might be able to find a win there, but if it's one of those two, it's going to be rough.
If Barra's third, he could probably 1v5.
All right. So easy 2-0 for Luminosity. So Freight, last game of the week is In Memory of Gabe and Monkey Madness.
Oh, hey, we have a Challenger Cup player that didn't get kicked from the team, and they're doing well. Fine, okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Monkey
about
Madness.
Kiki.
Oh, Kiki's phenomenal. He's a good guy. I love Kiki, so, but still, regardless.
All right.
Yeah, look what happens when you let your solo laner or your young player develop and actually play with the squad.
But you can't realistically say, look what happens when you let him develop when he came into the league with a Herc that went unkillable for 4 straight games.
He played Herc. That's not. It's like cheating. It's whatever. You can't. That doesn't even count. That's like when Shield of Regrowth was broken. That doesn't even count.
It still counts.
Doesn't count. If Shield of Regrowth was OP, so that doesn't count. And the Mark of the Vanguard, none of that counts. All those wins, no, you get none of them. Fine, okay.
All right, so
let's look at the actual game. So Snoopy, VShield, and all you guys know the players. I think Jigs is a top support. He's got a great mind. Anderson is finally. I think he understands the mid role a lot better than he used to. His God pool has to expand a little bit more, I think. Hurrywin probably has him there. We'll see what the God pool selections are. And then you got Homie and Final K. I realistically think that still Monkey Madness can 2-0 this versus Gabe. I think there'll be tough matches. I don't think this will be, a one-sided beatdown. Maybe this will be standard smite, 25-minute fire giant fight by Portal Demon, 20 to 25 minutes. Whoever wins that fight probably wins the game because they get Portal and fire. That's realistically what I see happening. A close game till 20 minutes. That fight breaks out. Somebody gets it. That's going to be the team that wins. And I think Monkey Madness will do it.
I agree. In Memory of Gabe they are I think if you had all of the NA teams in a list from top tier to the lowest, I think In Memory of Gabe is dead center. I think that's exactly where they've been. That's where they were last split. I think that's where they are this split again. And I think Monkey Madness is just as a whole a better team.
All right. Let's go back one though. SNK brought up a good point. Jeff can't play anything but support. What if LG put Jeff in mid? Does Flashpoint have a chance?
No. Even if Jeff is playing Sylvanas mid, Flashpoint still doesn't have a chance here. He farms Man Ray. GG. The game's done. So, yeah, I Monkey Madness 2-0.
I like,
I like
saying
Imog.
1-1.
I like both.
I'm a fine okay fanboy. Like I said, I kind of dislike Monkey. I think they'll be able to perform here.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so that's it. That's our show. Let's go back through these picks in case you missed any. Day 1, we have Poppies and Team Rival. Rival getting the 2-0. Next up is Elevate and Burrito. Elevate being able to swipe Burrito under the rug. Same thing with ALG and Noble. Straight 2-0s for this first day, apparently. ALG 2-0ing Noble, and then IMOG 2-0ing Flashpoint. And then the next day, we're continuing on with that string of 2-0s with Obey 2-0ing Elevate, NRG 2-0ing Burrito, Dignitas 2-0ing Poppies, and then we get to our first split, what should be the first really, really good game of the week with Rival and Enix. Do not miss that game. I'm expecting great things, or at least it should be great things. I'm looking at all of you, Enix. Don't make me fucking hate my life watching this game, all right? You see me, I see you. Make this game good. Make Smite great again.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. I'm looking at the face. Look at that face you made. You're so.
Third day, we have ALG and the new Eager. So should be a 2-0 for ALG. And then E United 2-0s Noble. Luminosity 2-0s Flashpoint. And then finally, Monkey Man just closes out this week with a 2-0 of Borked in memory of Gabe. And that's it for our show.